That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
All right, fam, what is up? We are back for another episode of the Weekly Roundup. I'm your host, as always, Steve Michelle, being joined by this guy to my right, Mr. Zach Burr. Zach, how we feeling this afternoon?
I mean, everything is. I can't. You're choppy as hell. And,
Yeah, you're
30 seconds, and you're still not moving.
you're all frozen there, brother.
You were the one that was frozen.
Oh, here we go again. Mr. Zach Burr and his internet connections. We're gonna have a fun one tonight, regardless. Me and Zach will weather through this like we typically do. Got a fun one lined up for you, man. We got we're gonna talk some Ben Simmons in the Sixers divorce. We're gonna review the debacle of Monday Night Football and the Eagles' lackluster performance against the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to preview the upcoming Eagles Chiefs games. We got a few interviews tonight. We got Bobby Poulter, fresh off a nice, beautiful, one punch KO victory, September 29th or 30th, I believe, for. Right up there in Canada, and my man Trap Gambino is going to be also joining us. We also going to be giving away the signed Jessica Borga photo tonight. Get that thing. What's the middle finger for? What's up? What happened?
Oh, see, and
No, we're not getting nothing out of you. I don't hear you. You sound
so
like
you
a
can
robot.
see my middle finger, but you can't hear me.
No, I can hear you now. I heard you there.
Dude, I literally on my screen I've been moving the whole time and literally been able to hear. You're the one not moving. It's been completely fine on my end.
Hey, listen, I see full bars, bro. You seem clean right now.
I was clean the whole time. You drive, and I did the little facial thing, and then you literally didn't move for like 30 seconds. And I was like, Steven, can you hear me? Steven, and nothing happened.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, well, I know that's what I'm saying. It's a you thing, not a me thing. My connection's fine.
Right, sure. Got you, my brother. We're gonna have some fun tonight, but obviously, before we get into it, the show is brought to you by eXp Realty LLC. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, you're looking to change your career brokerage, contact Alan for you over at eXp Realty LLC 302-682-8820, or visit him at Alan Foy at exprealty.com. And actually, well, you're gonna wait on that one, right? We're gonna hold on to that.
I would love to plug it. We need to plug it as much as possible. He's going to be coming on once a month with us. Whenever
at the end of this basketball segment, how about we'll talk a little bit about that, since obviously we're gonna be talking a little basketball to kick things off tonight. Let's see what the chats. Oh well, let's see. We already have the Cowboys fans in here. How about them Cowboys? We'll get to football in a minute, guys. Relax.
Well, hey, we were just talking about eXp Realty, right? Like sponsoring the show, and I guess the big part to plug with that is it Alan's basketball corner. eXp Realty is going to be not just sponsoring the show, but we're going to have a segment now being sponsored by eXp Realty up here in about a month or so, as basketball season gets going. Whether Ben Simmons is a part of that basketball season here in Philadelphia remains to be seen, Steven.
Oh man, here we go, Zach. Here we go.
These people, these are some fucking degenerates.
He's just here for you.
Zach is all AFU.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't really know. Yeah, what's that mean?
All right, but get into his poll. Obviously, Jake strongly agreeing with the poll. We brought this upon ourselves. We're gonna have to unload a little bit. There's a lot of things that happen in Philadelphia sports over the last 6 and 7 days since we've been on here. The poll question tonight is Ben Simmons now the most disliked Philadelphia sports athlete in the last decade? Agreed, disagreed. I want to hear everyone's thoughts in here. Posed this to Zach thought it was kind of noteworthy considering where Ben had started from being drafted. Everyone was psyched about him. The build, the wingspan, the ability on the floor, etc. And just you would hope he would develop into a star. He got the $200 million contract and everything. It just seemed to kind of fall apart. And obviously, I don't want to have to kind of beat the drum that all of us already knows what's going on here. But let's kind of get your thoughts on what's going on and with everything. What are your thoughts on everything? And do you agree to disagree to poll? Do you have some other nominees for it before you get into it? The floor is yours, Mr. Burr.
Well, we all know what happened to Ben Simmons, right? It's the same thing that happens to any of these dudes that fuck around with the Kardashian girl, right? If you fuck around with the Kardashian family, bad shit happens to you. Next thing you know, you're getting, you're turning yourself into a woman. You're making sex tapes. You're ended up with husbands on life support in the hospital and comas. And I mean, how does the Lamar Odom situation happen with that family? And we still got NBA players trying to hook up with them girls. Like, holy shit! If that wasn't evidence enough, like, not only did they kill careers, they might literally kill you. Like, yeah, it's what happened. She killed him. Another career killed by the Kardashians, and that's ever since.
What we've never compared him to. We haven't even said Carson's name here in weeks, unless it was in reference to the Colts.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I don't know how Wentz can be the most hated. The guy was a part of the Super Bowl.
The Wentz thing is, you want a most hated athlete in Philadelphia sports history? I'll give you a guy, the most hated. How about Scott Rowland? I mean, oh my God! We literally blamed it. Like, when he first got traded for here, there's rare people like me and you, Steven, who sit there and understand. But this dude literally get booed out of the fucking building anytime he came back to Philadelphia, all because he was open and honest about how awful the organization was run, how they weren't committed to winning, and how he didn't want to be a part of it if that was going to be the case. And somehow he got, becomes the, such a terrible, evil figure in Philadelphia that people he's not a Hall of Famer. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I actually going to enjoy watching how mad it makes a lot of Phillies fans when he becomes a Hall of Famer. Just because there's that many fans still fucking salty about it. I don't fucking understand. What the fuck was be mad at the Phillies in that situation. Be mad at the organization for being such a piece of shit at the time that a Hall of Fame caliber player didn't want to stick around. That dude he took heat in this town for fucking ever.
I don't know. Carson wanted to play. He wanted to play
because they
compared him on any level. On any level. There's no comparison between the two. Carson wanted to play here. he didn't have aspects of the front office, kind of catering to his demand style, however you want to word it, or whatever. Ricky Williams, most hated in history. Shine us off. It doesn't mean nothing.
Ricky Williams.
That was what me and you were talking about. That's that would be fans still sitting there saying JD Drew or something like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, JD Drew was hated. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's actually a name. I mean, there's still again, another one that I found petty, but there's plenty of people in this city who are just fuck that guy for the longest time. You come to the play in Philadelphia and booed out of the building. You're first of all, is JD Drew's not even worth booing. Why the hell you know what I'm saying? At least Scott Rowland's going to be a Hall of Famer. At least, I guess that was worth it. you want to be petty and boo a guy, like at least boo a Hall of Famer. Like you're booing JD Drew, that kind of says more about us than it does him. Like he's JD Drew, he's irrelevant. Don't make a guy feel relevant by booing him.
I mean, as far as my thoughts on it, you know, most disliked at this point in time, I can't disagree with it. I mean, the other option is you know, well, you know, Michael Vick. You know, I guess that would be your only option. But like, you know, you could throw Donnie in there for some of the stuff where people feel
could be in that conversation.
But I mean, when
Definitely.
you look at what's going on, and it's not just because it's a fresh wound and everything like that. You look you know, we've dealt with a lot of crazy wild athletes and you know, and athletes who kind of you know, rubbed us the wrong way, and we've rubbed them the wrong way, and they needed out of town, etc. We've ran players out of town, and to the people that sit there and say that we ran Ben Simmons out of town, I can't. Run him out of town for what? For holding him accountable for some type of you know, accountability for shooting the ball to develop something to you know, to play up to that contract. It's beyond laughable at this point in time. And then you go look at what's happened, you know, where, you know, he's not reporting, he doesn't want to talk to his teammates, you know, he's going to sit out. Then, you know, Sixers aren't going to pay him. Then, oh, well, I'm just going to say that I'm injured, and, you know, we're playing this whole thing. At this point in time, dude, I don't think I would just bar him from the locker room. I don't want him any part anywhere, any within any foot of this team. He is a cancer. He is a rat. He has absolutely nothing, should have nothing to do with Philadelphia 76ers, anything. He needs to find
basketball isn't a way of life for him. Basketball is just something that can make him a ton of money, make him rich, make him famous. It's not something that like he wants to commit to try to be the best at. Like, that's not what basketball is for him. He doesn't love it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go PSU. You got me there, brother. Let's go PSU.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what sets, you know, the greats apart, right? Is they actually enjoy the idea of working hard to get better, to improve their game, to become the best player they can be. They enjoy it. That's what it's all about. That's part of the grind for them, and what makes them, you know, such an elite level of athlete. Ben Simmons doesn't enjoy any of that. That's not like he enjoys the fact that he can be rich and famous and fuck hot women. Like that's what he enjoys. He enjoys the lifestyle of being an NBA athlete. He doesn't actually enjoy, you know, everything that goes into having to be the best at your craft. It's not what it is to him. He's never going to be a guy that's going to work that way at it. He's never going to love the game enough for him to fit in a city like this. We want you to show passion. We want you to, you know, and that was why we fell in love with AI. You know, I'd say, yeah, he obviously was a great player, right? But it was his love for basketball, you know, and it was so pure and genuine.
And like we were talking about yesterday, you know, the AI was the answer. This dude's the freaking excuse.
You know, there's nothing about Ben Simmons when he plays basketball.
I've never found somebody who had so many excuses, not only for their play, but just for everything around it. Like at some point in time,
because he doesn't love it, right? He doesn't love it. He loves what it gives him. He loves the lifestyle that it gives him. But he doesn't love, you know, he doesn't love, you know, being a professional basketball player. He just loves the lifestyle that comes with being a professional basketball player. That's why he's always just going to be what he is at this point. He doesn't feel any pressure to have to get better. He doesn't feel like, you know, he feels the entitlement of like, oh, well, you know what? Like, I'm a professional athlete and I get to live my life and you know, do what I want to do, sort of thing. There's no, you know, there's nothing there that's ever like driven him to make him feel as if, man, I want to do this, and this, become the best player I can be. Because he just doesn't love the game like that. There isn't a passion there for it, you know, with him. He wants to go play in some city where he can
passion, regardless, dude. Like he's worn out his welcome on his own. This has nothing to do with the fans. This has nothing to do with his teammates, Joel Embiid, and the fact that he went after Joel Embiid was just kind of the lowest point. Like, dude, I've never burned a jersey before, but I think I just might have to. We just might have to do one with this one, just to burn the cleanse the fans, etc. of the stink of Ben Simmons at this point in time, because it is a stink at this point in time. This is probably like, we were upset about TO situations in the past and player disputes with front office before, but this is a new level. I mean, am I wrong? Do you feel I'm wrong here? Like tell me where I'm wrong.
No, I mean, it's kind of funny. I mean, Embiid sounded like a parent when he's like, "I'm just so disappointed in you," sort of thing. Like he seemed genuinely hurt. You're like, I can't believe he would do something like this. I'm so disappointed in him. You got Embiid going all fucking parental on this situation. His feelings are hurt, and he's disappointed in you, Benjamin. Oh. That's what it's come to. He's not even mad. He's just disappointed, Steven.
I mean, and he's still taking the high road, man. I still think it's funny, the comment, Joel being.
I don't know if he took the high road. There was definitely a shot in there.
A long time, brother.
That was his way of taking a shot, was talking about how they did everything to build the team around Simmons and get rid of certain guys to build it around Ben. That was definitely Embiid trying to stick it, stick it in a little bit and twist and turn and just kind of, get the point across that, Ben Simmons is being an idiot in this situation. You know what I mean? Like, he was definitely trying to take a couple jabs there, in the way that Joel does, in his own way. I thought it was rather humorous. I got a kick out of it. I chuckled as he did it. I was like, because we all know it's always a little bit deeper. Like Embiid, there's always, it always means something with Joel. Like when he tweets anything, you know what I mean? Like there's always something behind it. It's never just on a whim. So I was like, yeah, there's definitely him taking a shot there. That's the closest thing you'll see to him attacking Ben Simmons. That's how he does it, right? It's a real passive aggressive way that he goes about it. We got rid of this guy and we got rid of that guy and we did this because it was all about building a team around him. And now it's, damn, that was, most players would just be like, oh, that situation will work itself out, whatever. Embiid's actually kind of, saying what needed to be said, but nobody has the balls to say. He once again steps up and says it.
Hey man,
everybody in that locker room is thinking the same thing.
How hard of that team for a while. So, Tom says of all time. He throughout the decade, he was of all time.
The most dislikable of all, even more dislikable than Gabe Kapler? Come on, Tom. That's a tough one. You got to choose between Ben Simmons or Gabe Kapler for which one is the ultimate crumb. Which one are you going with?
Okay. Wants to fight Joe. Why? Why? Listen, Joe Rogan's black,
Joe Rogan's 55 years old now,
disciplines of martial arts. But if Joe was gonna fight, he would have fought a long time ago. A long time ago, man. If anything, he'd be doing anything for charity.
He's a senior.
Things of that nature. All right. I don't think these guys come across as mainly just because they're more disappointed rather than hated. But Namdi Ostwal, Andrew Bynum, Definitely Orlando Scandrick comes to mind. Well, you can throw Orlando
Nobody
in there.
hates Andrew Bynum. People are like, nobody, what? Andrew Bynum's not people's, like, worth people's times a day. We're just like, oh, like, wow, like, yeah,
Sounds
Andrew
like
Bynum. Like, that's how we feel about it's literally that. Like,
now here's a
Nambi,
question.
Nambi wasn't hated like that.
Kind of throw it back, change it up real fast. Aside, busting at Howie in the picks, we already beat him down on it. What are your thoughts on the cornerback play after the first three games? We were really high on this. Me and you particularly thought that they would be in a nice position. What are your thoughts after the first few games of Nelson, Slay, and Maddox?
Hey, they looked really good. I mean, the defense was in a tough spot Monday night because Jalen stunk it up so bad, and the defense was just like, in back to the wall type of situations all night long. They really never, the offense really never got any type of sustained success going, and it just, you're gonna, when you're on the field all night long, you don't give up a lot of points. But I mean, they shut the Falcons down. That's a potent passing attack. The Falcons stink, but it's still, usually, every year, Matt Ryan, right, he's the fastest quarterback to 55,000 passing yards for a reason. They have a pretty potent passing attack. Got that down. The Niners are damn good offensively. Got that down. We thought George Kittle was going to destroy us. He didn't. We thought Deebo Samuel was going to destroy us. And, he had a nice game, but it's not like he destroyed us or anything. We were very
no, but Alex Singleton made
games.
Dallas's tight end look like he was freaking Tony Gonzalez over there.
Well, that's also not on Darius Slay or Steven Nelson either.
I didn't say that was on Darius Slay. I clearly said who that was on, and you've already know how I feel about them devaluing the linebacker core. They haven't put any weight into it, any real talent behind it. And here we go. I agree. The D line is fine. Basically, Javion Hargrove is the wrecking ball right now. He's going to be phasing Fletcher Cox out of here. We're going to have to deal with these stupid freaking fans and say, "Well, let's trade Fletcher at the trade deadline and see who we can get." Offensive blows. Well, I mean, it's something me and Zach talked about, man. Once that offensive line started accruing some injuries, and we're literally right back to where we were last season again, then yeah, I
mean, the offensive line wasn't even that bad.
Jason Kelsey can only do so much, but God, brother.
The line. The line wasn't necessarily bad Monday night as much. I mean, how many times Jalen scrambled out of a clean pocket, and you're like, "Where are you going? Why are you scrambling? Like, what are you like? What is that? Like, what? You just literally scrambled out of a clean pocket for no reason, and now turn this into like, oh, and then he was getting chased around the field all night. Well, when you scramble out of clean pockets, that's what happens. People start chasing you. That's you can just step up in a clean pocket and make a throw, but when you can't throw, I guess, you try to scramble out of clean pockets and use your legs as often as you can. But, it was amazing. Like these, I don't know. I mean, he's been ripped enough, but I mean, he was just bad, like really bad. Like that's the type of stuff that he's had a full off season to correct a lot of things that, rookie quarterbacks did that you shouldn't do, come your second year. And in that full off season that he's now had, he's done nothing to improve on any of the things that were his weaknesses coming out of college. And people were, it's been 7 games. He's played it. He's had 18. He's taken snaps in 18 games, Steven. Like when you look at his career games played, he's played in 18 games. Okay. So this idea that it's like, oh, well, he's only played in 7 games. No, he was active and he was taking snaps and he was actively a part of the game plan for 18 games throughout his career.
I didn't really agree with him just saying, "Oh, you take a turd and flush it." I didn't really kind of agree with that.
Him and his little catchphrases are fucking annoying too. His little catchphrases are starting to really fucking annoy the shit out of me. You're not a fucking superhero. This isn't a comic book. It's something your 9-year-old son would enjoy because he's like, enjoys reading Spider-Man and Batman comics.
Well, it's something your son enjoys.
What I mean? Like, rent is due.
I don't know what to tell you.
It's just corny. Like, rent is due, and we take a deuce, and when you take a deuce, you don't look at it, you just flush it. First of all, I love to admire a good deuce. I don't know about you, Steven, but you can't take a good deuce. You admire it. You're like, you know what? Like that should win an award right there. That's a good deuce with perfect form, right? Like, then you flush it. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about either. You can admire a deuce. That's a stupid saying. The fuck that I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But regardless, it's all corny and like this is like it just comes across as childish. It's the NFL, and you're over here talking about rent is due. Got to go eat. Take a deuce and flush it. Forget about it.
What do you think about
it's really annoying.
What do you think about Greg's comment on the poll here? Just let him rot. Hell with trading him. Just let him sit there and rot away.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know if you want to take a hit like that. That's rough.
Yeah, you've got to come across. You got to get something out of it. I don't know exactly what you do here, but you got to get something out of it. But I mean.
I guess Jay's still upset about Asante Saino Jr. playing elsewhere and not happy with Nelson's play the first few weeks, huh?
Uh-huh. Cornerbacks get burnt. I guarantee you Asante Jr. will get burnt plenty this year. Happy feet. Yeah, I mean, it really is. Exactly. That was the perfect nickname for him. Yeah, he is. He is happy feet. Just like a fucking penguin.
Yeah, he doesn't set it,
Since he likes being a goddamn comic book character so goddamn much with his catchphrases and his boom and his pow and his bam. Yeah, you're the fucking penguin.
And yeah, Greg's with us on that one.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, and then Nick Sirianni wearing a Jalen Hurts t-shirt around practice, and then you both come out and look like you're a goddamn middle school, a middle school quarterback and coach, and get absolutely exposed. And you're walking around practice throughout the week with your head coach wearing a t-shirt with your quarterback and your quarterback's catchphrase on it. It's all annoying. It really, I just want to punch myself in the face. Like, that's how bad it is. Yeah, I don't see, like, there's nothing productive about, like, you walking around with T-shirts with catchphrases on them, talking about rent is due, and then when a defense comes and smacks you in the mouth, like, all you're doing is giving firepower to the other team. Like this, it's just stupid. It's just childish nonsense. Anybody that gets fired up by that shit is stupid. They're just a child. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people in this fan base are like, he's a great leader. Like, if you're fired up, I bet you there's people in that locker room shaking their head at him. Like, did he just talk about flushing a deuce or lie? Like, you think about being a veteran in that locker room, pissed the fuck off because he just had that type of performance, and the team played like that on Monday Night Football. And he's over here on live TV after a Monday Night Football game talking about taking a deuce and flushing it. There's people in that locker room just looking at each other like, what the hell is this kid talking about? Like,
I don't want to. No, he's not a rookie.
I think Jay's trying to be funny,
but he's not.
Played in 18 games.
Now, hold on. Now, here's the thing, though. Are you putting more of this on Jalen inability and just lack of talent, or has Sirianni put him in continuing bad situations over the last 2 weeks?
I mean, Sirianni hasn't been any good either. He's a different conversation. But Jalen Hurts, the same issues that Jalen Hurts had as a passer and as a quarterback coming out of Oklahoma are still the same issues that he has now. They were the same issues that lost him his job to Tua at Alabama. He doesn't go through his progressions. He wants to scramble out of out of clean pockets the minute his first read is like even remotely taken away from him. The first read gets remotely taken away from him. He scrambles out of a clean pocket, tries to create shit with his legs, and he's not a good enough athlete to fucking make that shit work with NFL athletes. Like, you saw him get fucking smacked in the mouth by Micah Parsons, on Monday night. Like, that's what happens when you deal with real NFL athletes, right? They run that little read option bullshit. He tried to take it around the corner instead of handing it off to Miles Sanders and got smacked in the mouth by 3 Cowboys at once. And he just looks like a high school quarterback. But, the offensive line had their issues. Nick Sirianni and the play calling had his issues. But that has nothing to do with Jalen being late and behind receivers on a consistent basis. Why are you late and behind receivers all the time? Like, on such a consistent basis where, like, it happens every single game And like it just never, and you
like,
haven't shown any improvement
there
on it.
may be a play or two that I would put on the wide receivers, but for the most part, I agree. I think
It's never on the wide receivers if a ball is late and behind them. Like they might need to catch it. I'm not talking about them dropping it or not catching it. I'm just talking about the timing of the whole thing. If you're late and behind a receiver, that's on you as the quarterback. That's never on the receiver. Devontae Smith on the sideline out route. It's football 101. You can't be late and behind a guy on a sideline out route. You can't be, because what happens is what happened. Diggs is going to take it to the house on a pick six 90% of the time. How are you late and behind a guy on a 5-yard sideline out route? How is that a thing at the NFL? You know what I mean? Like the guys that are late and behind receivers on like 5 to 10-yard NFL out routes, they don't last in the league very long. And I've been saying, oh, he could, to me, he looks like Tyrod Taylor. I mean, he don't look anything like Tyrod Taylor right now. Tyrod Taylor looks way better than Jalen Hurts.
I want to know where the people that last week that were telling us he's Steve McNair and this, that, and I want to know where you people are this week. Like, listen,
Steve
definitely
McNair was a legitimate athlete.
That Jalen's an exciting guy, but like outside of that, he's leaving much to be desired. But before we get too far, the next 30-minute segments here, my friend, and now you should let the people know about what we're doing with Alan next week. Well, not over the next month. Sorry.
Right. Well, so we're going to have Alan on. Obviously, he's a basketball coach. I told you he was just named the new head basketball coach at Bordentown. So, obviously a big basketball guy. A lot of things there. So we're going to have him on come basketball season once a month. Alan's Basketball Corner, brought to you by eXp Realty, and it gives us a chance to do a 10-minute segment to have somebody to talk some baskmore with at a time when we're probably already going to be talking a lot of basketball. And
right.
It's also an easy way, and a better, and more, it's a way for him to get more exposure and us to get eXp Realty and the whole entire brand out there, with his face being on it, since, that's a thing in sales, right? You always want to, there's a trust, right? There's kind of that relationship that you build with that person in sales. So him being able to come on and actually talk and build a little bit of a rapport with our listeners and with our audience, that'll all help that whole relationship if it ever came down to, any of our listeners wanting to go through the home buying experience with him. They already have this, this sense of, connection with him, knowing that he's on the show once a month and they get to hear, and debate sports with him.
And with that being said, obviously this next half hour is brought to you by eXp Realty. So again, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, looking to change your career brokerage, contact Alan Foya of eXp Realty LLC, 302-682-8820, or visit him at Alan Foy at exprealty.com. And obviously, we're going to be talking a little bit more football this hour. Still be talking some basketball, whatever the fan wants to get back in there with us and talk about. So Jason is saying I have no expectation of winning games.
2-6.
Listen, me and you already said it. Like, listen, they needed to start off really strong in order to kind of break that 8-win threshold. And the fact that you lose, these last 2 weeks put you in a really bad spot. The Chiefs are going to be coming in Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, and they're going to be hungry. I
think this is even worse. If the Chiefs were undefeated, I actually might like our chances better. I think the fact that the Chiefs are 1-2, like, we're going to get absolutely crushed in this game. The Hurts
defensive team is in high. No, wait, no, they're not. No, they're not, Hater. No, they're not. Hold on. So it's only 7 games for this man, and they want him to be Peyton Manning's after. Listen, 1, no one said he's been Peyton Manning. 2, after 7 games, Peyton Manning show that he could hit receivers in stride down the field. He might have thrown picks. He might have shown some inconsistencies with staring receivers down, which by the way was literally being called out by the Dallas Cowboys defense. I don't know if you guys missed that. So, like, with that being said, like, listen, we're not asking them to be freaking Superman after 7 games. We're asking the guys to show us some development. So the fact that he's not just going to absolutely fold in there, and that's what we're seeing is as Zach mentioned, as soon as he hears footsteps, he's gone out of a clean pocket.
It's not even about him hearing footsteps. He's not. I don't even think it's a footsteps thing as much as it's like some guys know how to go through their progressions and other guys never learn it. But like that's what it is. Like he was always a one read and run guy in college, even in Alabama, right? Like if the first read wasn't there, he was a one read and go guy. But he was a good enough athlete in college to get away with it and do it. And like at Oklahoma, same thing. First read's there, hit him. Make the big play. First read isn't there, use your legs and go make something happen with that. But he's an Oklahoma athlete. He's not an NFL athlete. He's not Kyler Murray. He's not Russell Wilson. He's not running away from guys. He's not explosive enough to just, pull the ball out of the running back.
He's an improviser. He's a guy who can improvise when the play breaks down when he has good guys around him.
Yeah, these people that think he's going to be Kyler Murray, like he's not that type of athlete.
Don's up in the hand.
It gets to a point where those are the things where you watch young quarterbacks, don't worry about the results as much as you just watch with your eyes and you see their development. And you see guys by this stage, especially, he's had a full off season now. People go, we didn't know the rookie. Okay, fine. So don't count last off season, but you count this one, right? So it's a full off season to improve on all the things that you should now, all the rookie things that those rookie mistakes that you should no longer make. You're supposed to be able to improve on them by year 2. We should no longer see those same things. The fact that he's still a one read and run guy, or that instinct is still there. The fact that, my first read's not there. Okay, use your legs, do something here. And he runs out of a clean pocket because he thinks he can go run around the corner and just, go get 15 or 20 yards. Like this is still Oklahoma. Those are the things that either you get that or you don't. You can't teach it, to anybody. Like it's just an it thing. You either get it or you don't. He doesn't get it. He doesn't have it. I don't really know what else to say outside of that's just the facts. If you just trust and believe what your eyes tell you and try not to don't be biased. Don't be well, I really want. I know we all want the kid to be Steve McNair.
Here it comes. We knew this was going to really come this week. That the fact and not just the fact that he only used him 3 times. The fact that when he was being used in that game, he was gashing him.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
And then not just the fact that you had an injury on your offensive line, you had accrue another injury on the offensive line in that game. You don't go help your young offensive linemen who they're offensive linemen. They love the run block. There's not an offensive lineman in the NFL today that would prefer to go backwards and pass block. I'm sorry, you can't make me feel or think any different. Those are 2 big questions right there. Why you abandoned Miles in a game where it looked like he could possibly be able to pick some lane. You have big guys up front who can run block. Am I missing something here?
The explanation that we were down, we were playing from behind the whole game. Yeah, I know, but Jalen wasn't going to bring us back. That was obvious. So why we had to throw the ball? Why? Because your chart said so. I don't care if it's 41-7. So run Miles Sanders if it's still successful. Fuck it. No, but nothing says here that you have to throw the football. Especially when the guy that you're asking to throw the football is struggling to throw the football. And it wasn't he started hot. He was struggling from the get-go.
I don't know about all that, Jay. I want to see Carson keep getting them snaps. Hopefully they win this week. They don't want to find themselves in a hole where they can just wind up getting him out.
Winning just because if they get to a point where they're 0-5 or 0-6, or they're 2-8 or something like that, they might just sit Carson because there's no point in them.
But
losing that first round pick.
Watching the boys at 1:00. It's not going to happen. Andy Reid, Kansas City Chiefs, LaShawn McCoy's retirement. Let's not take everything away from ourselves.
We're going to enjoy all of the nostalgia stuff. Shady's back. Oh, look, Andy. We're going to enjoy all that more than we're going to enjoy this current incarnation of the Eagles.
Because we already know what these guys are doing. We are. I Grips over here still going on about.
Yeah.
We're not
He's
asking
one
them
of
to
these
be
guys
Troy.
that doesn't understand what we're saying.
We're not asking them to be Breeze. We're not trying to run him out of town after the first year. What we're sitting there saying is he's not showing us any of the progression of the things that he's needed to correct as a quarterback since he's left college. He has not progressed in year one here at Philadelphia, regardless if he had the keys the whole time or not. He started off, one game against a bad team. That's great. All right, you play against two better defenses, two better teams, and you look like that. Are you expecting us not to call out what we see?
First of all, Troy Aikman got his ass kicked his rookie year with the Dallas Cowboys, and every bit proved that this guy's an NFL quarterback. Look at the beating this dude's taking. And then he still, you watched him get better on a week-to-week basis, knowing he was out there getting his ass kicked and was just, the defense's lunch meat for a really, really bad football team. They were 1-15 that first year with Jimmy Johnson and him and all that before they went on that dynasty run. But we're not talking about the fact, Troy was 1-15 his first year. I know. But when you go back and watch the whole season, you saw Troy Aikman make the improvements from his first start to his last and was like, this guy's got it. Like, he's got the skill set. He's an NFL quarterback. There's a lot of work we need to do here as a football team. Like, same thing with Peyton Manning. You're like, he threw a lot of interceptions, but he threw also, 26 touchdowns. Set rookie records on both fronts.
There's this one. Miles Sanders is not viewed as a top back who could be a top 5 or 10 and would have come back in the NFL when it comes to the Eagles. I'd like to revolve off it. Listen, regardless of how they view him, if they think he's a top 10, top 5, etc., I think that's kind of irrelevant to the fact that you need to have a balance. And the fact that not only the fact that you didn't establish the run with him, but also to help Jalen get into, because that's also when you do some of those RPOs that actually work, that Jalen doesn't just try to freaking take off when it's actually a run and throw a pass and get your offensive lineman called for penalties. I mean, it's one of these things. Like, it's multiple things into it. I can't tell you why they don't view him highly or the end. I'm not sitting there saying that he even is a top 5 or 10. I think it's irrelevant. I still think he's an effective back that can get you, big gains, big yards, and big plays. I think that's the only thing that matters. That's why he's here and in that role. Go ahead, brother.
I've questioned forever. We've had open conversations where I've taken a lot of heat from people because I've questioned whether Miles Sanders really is, a franchise back. Is he really a guy that can be that?
The Eagles do suck, but you can go somewhere with that Giants and Nick stuff, brother. You can miss me with that.
The Giants are worse. That's how. So how bad are y'all? We stink, but y'all are even worse than us. Good Lord. So, think about how bad the Giants are. They just lost to the
point here where that's kind of the thing we're kind of expecting this week, that it's gonna be 15 draws. They're gonna get nothing, and it is no creativity. The fact that you didn't see any pre-snap motion last week, I think it was a big thing. Like, you need some of these things to kind of help your young players out too.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're ever going to find out whether or not Miles Sanders is that workhorse or if he's capable of being that workhorse, you're going to find out this year. Part of the reason you drafted Kenny Gainwell is because he could take some of that pressure off Miles Sanders. And I don't really he looked good early on, looked good the first couple games, and then he touched the ball like one time in fucking Monday night. It was just weird. The whole fucking thing was weird.
Yeah, it was a weird game playing, weird game. I mean.
He is a very disappointing pass protector. He is a very underwhelming blocker. Yeah, I mean, Kenny Gainwell's kind of going to be that guy where he can block, he can go catch the ball out of the backfield and run a lot of different routes, and maybe he could turn into a 3-down back.
My thing, Lord, isn't what I'm not sitting there saying that they needed to run the ball, 30 times Monday night. Just get some balance in there. You know, you have young offensive linemen, regardless of, you know, that you know, you're having you know, again, injury issues early in the season on your offensive line. You have to get those boys moving forward and get you know get them having a little bit of fun before you try to get them on their heels backing up. They're young guys still learning this game. The hardest part of you know that all offensive lineman's game is pass blocking. Run block, it's easy. Go forward.
Yeah.
Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love.
Yeah, we just might. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, you can tell when a dude's overwhelmed as an NFL head coach relatively early on. Like that's just something that like you can figure out like and know. So yeah, I mean that could definitely happen.
Fire the coach if you don't show improvement. Yeah, gotcha. So maybe. I mean, like I'm with you on that one. It could possibly happen. I don't see it souring that fast, but we'll see how that winds up playing out. But I mean, it's his job is probably a little bit more safer than Jalen, because I don't think they're 100% sold on it. You're hearing the rumors that you know, Lori's greenlit the kicking of the tires on Deshaun Watson, you know, pending whatever's going to happen there. You know, here we go into all this nonsense, but we'll see. Miles is a top 10 back, less than 800 years, less than. I think he's saying he's not. He's not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, it's at this point, I don't really know.
Goddard is not top 10. Sanders is not top 10 at their positions. Regardless, Nick Sirianni, Philadelphia Eagles. Goddard is definitely one of these guys who, you know, was definitely a big part of making plays. You know, last season when we didn't really have Ertz around. He still looks like he's the starter. He still is getting a majority of looks. Made some big plays Monday night too. I still don't think to even be in discussion of top 15. That is probably more of a discussion than 10. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we overrate a lot of our players. But what does Miles Sanders do?
He was a runner. I don't know if he told me if he was a real deal. Like I don't think he she shows us like blazing, you know, speed. If not, you know, he would have been more highly touted. He'd be more on the, you know, the Lamar Jackson side of things than where he is right now. So,
I mean, I don't. Who told you that Jalen was a real running QB threat?
People did, apparently.
Who told you that?
But here's the thing: like,
I actually, I do agree with that. You did see Jalen, and this is my point of him thinking he's some elite, you know, an elite athlete when he's not. Oh, I'm going to pull the ball out and just run around the corner here and go get 10 yards for the first down. Oh, there's Michael Parsons to punch you in your mouth because he's reminding you that you're an athlete, not an NFL athlete. Maybe you should just hand the ball off to Miles Sanders on those RPOs every once in a while. And just be like, here, you took the hit from Michael Parsons this time.
Watson's going.
Damn, Alabama whooped Ole Miss's ass. Oh, that game was disappointing.
That's up for a court decides grip. You know, I didn't say I was pro that decision. I just said that the rumor was
there's no crime there. He's not going to go to jail. I mean, like, he's a creep. Yeah, like he invited masseuses to his house and hired him to give him a massage, and then tried to.
Oh yeah, I knew this was going to come up, and I knew Zach's going to bury me for this one. Here we go. I knew you were waiting to hammer me for this one.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess he's such a good leader. You know, he's such a veteran leader that, you know, his presence is just so important on this football team. It's made such a presence through the first 3 games.
Yeah. I think he said has the most snaps in the NFL right now with no tackles. That's rough. That's rough.
I didn't even know he was on the field.
In here, but I think Washington might have been on to something. I think the treads and the tires might be bald.
I tried to tell people when we signed him, "That's a good guy. Because it's
a little bit of what's out of it."
Like, why do we always do this? Why do we always sign people that are like old as like molasses? Like Betty White's out here trying to fucking like
Betty
tackles, and we're talking about how much of an upgrade it is for our football team. Betty White
probably would have made more tackles.
Like when the Golden Girls were big, like, good Lord. Like, yeah, and Ryan Kerrigan was a good player 10 years ago, but it's not 10 years ago. Also, Dallas Goedert traded at top 10. So who the fuck are you? Who's rating these guys? Is this Madden? Like, what are you talking about? Please don't tell me it's PFF. Please don't tell me you're using a Pro Football Focus rating.
Regardless of touches, I still don't feel Miles is a top 10. I'm sorry.
Well,
and it's not. Regardless of what your numbers saying, running the ball, he's not a complete back. He's not a complete back. He can't pass protect. He can't catch the ball out of the backfield. That's why Gainwell was brought in.
And top 10 backs are workhorses. Top 10 backs are on the field every snap of the game for you. You know, like they're or at least 90% of those snaps, right? Like these top 10 backs, they're they're guys that they here. It's the fourth quarter. We've got a lead, and we're just going to feed you the ball the entire time, and you're going to run the clock down for us. That those are your elite backs. That's not Miles Sanders. He's not even on the field in the fourth quarter. With like 8 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, you're like, "Where's Miles Sanders?" Oh, he's sucking wind over on the sideline. Somebody had to give him oxygen because he's out of shape.
And I still say this. I'll say Gannon will probably lose his job before Jalen or Nick. I'll say that.
Bro, we've got I'll tell you what, we might have the best looking coaching staff in football, but they sure as hell are. They don't. Maybe that's what it is. Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie, they're just weirdos like that. Like Howie's like, look at these are some good looking dudes right here. Like,
listen, I don't care how you look, man. You got to coach.
Nick Sirianni, young and good looking, it's like the Gabe Kapler effect, right?
I don't care
all these dudes have like this Gabe Kapler effect. They're young, they're good looking, they're going to rub coconut oil all over themselves, and it drives Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman crazy. But at the end of the day, they can't coach football, so why the fuck does it matter? Oh my God. Gannon looks like he's like my age. I looked at Jonathan Gannon. I was like, dude, he looks like he's like 25. Looks like he's in high school. Dude looks like he's like. You ever watch a college football game and they pan to the sideline and you catch a glimpse of the graduate coach and he's like, the college graduate assistant that's like 23 and he still looks like he's like one of the college kids and you're like, he's just the grad assistant. We look like we've got a fucking coaching staff full of graduate assistants.
You see this one from Ader? Kerrigan State. Here we go. Grip. What's the matter tonight?
Devontae Smith was open all night Monday night. All night long, Devontae Smith was open. Jalen Noodle Arm Hurts or whatever the hell we're calling the dude now. I don't even know what the fuck we're calling him. The dude's gonna have a nickname. He's gonna get labeled real quick here in Philly. But Devontae Smith, if you watch the tape, was open all night long. Devontae Smith, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like, don't watch stats or look at the results of guys. You just watch guys and what they do on the field. Watch Devontae Smith run a route. Watch his footwork. Watch the pretty feet and things like that Devontae Smith has. Where you're like, yeah, you can't teach that. That's really good stuff. That's why guys like Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco are fucking having fucking wet dreams about the dude on fucking social media, talking about how much. Oh my God, I love this kid so much because they recognize the skill set. You're looking for a skill set. You don't give a fuck about the results early on. You're looking for skill sets. Does this kid have a skill set that can play at the NFL level? And then does he, whatever his skill set is, whatever the flaws are in his game, does he work to try to improve at those things, and do they get better? Is he taking steps at getting better at all those things? Jalen Hurts doesn't, and he hasn't. What about Jalen Hurts' skill set makes you go, yeah, that guy's a franchise quarterback right there. There's nothing that he does. And you already know that 5 games into a guy's career. You know, if they at least have something with their skill set that makes you go, yeah, this guy, you know, he's got it. You know, he can be the franchise guy. And the only people that think that Jalen has shown that are people that are like, they're as bad as these Nick Foles, you know.
This is why I don't pay attention to stats when you're. Yeah, this is why I don't pay attention to stats. What is it? What is the matter that he's only had 4 tackles? You know, did he not?
Who cares about the 4 tackles?
I'm pretty sure he put one in the end zone, right?
Yeah, he got a touchdown, and he's been blowing up plays left and right.
Javion Hargrove is destroying guys right now. Is it because Fletcher isn't eating up blocks, right? That could that possibly be a reason? Stop it, guys. Come on.
Fletcher Cox is over here blowing up plays. I've been
hard on Fletcher about numbers before, but you have to go and watch things and really pay attention to things when it comes to
None of these people. Fantasy football has ruined it. Has ruined this shit for the younger generation of football fans who don't understand how to watch a football game and just use their eyes. Like, oh well, like did you know that Jalen's top 3? Like, I know because you play fantasy football because he ran for over 100 yards again. And he got you a bunch of fantasy
Chad Johnson also took a boxing match recently, so he's gonna say anything.
I don't listen to Chad Johnson's opinion about McDonald's, but you know what? Chad Johnson was one of the best fucking wide receivers in the history of the goddamn game. So you know what? When he talks about other wide receivers, I'm probably going to be inclined to listen. If he talks to me about quarterback player, defensive lineman, I'm probably not going to listen. That's why I'll go listen to Warren Sapp when he tells me how good or bad a defensive lineman is.
We're just saying there where you hear from, so we can get this information straight, my friend. Because I don't think anyone
get 1,000 yards rushing. Good for him. Like Jalen's on pace to get over 1,000 yards rushing.
And actually being an effective, multi-purpose quarterback are 2 totally different things.
First of all, Lamar Jackson has struggled to win big games at the NFL level because he hasn't been able to, just use his arm, on a full-time basis. Whenever they shut down his legs and make him beat him with his arm, he hasn't been able to prove it to do it. Even the game that they won the other night, a couple Monday nights ago against Kansas City, where he threw 2 interceptions, it was his legs really that won him that game, right? Not his arm. He's got a way better skill set as a passer than Jalen Hurts does.
So Bryce thinks that Jalen will be gone by the end of the season. I don't know about that. Like I said,
I mean, if they make a trade for Deshaun Watson, Jalen Hurts is going to be in the trade package. So yeah, I mean, I could see that. I still think they're going to ride what they have this year. Like it really shouldn't matter where you finish this year because like no matter what you could very well wind up with 3 of the top 15 picks next year. So if he keeps looking like the way he did Monday night, Gardner Minshew is going to be the starting quarterback by the time we get to the end of the year. And you're going to be like, all right, let's. I know. Yeah, I'm with you. I know. There's a bunch of weirdos in this fan base that get excited over shit like that, over the superhero T-shirts and the catchphrases and the videos of him squatting all that weight.
Right. It's not about the touchdown. It's the fact that Fletch brings other things to it, other than the stats. He 90% of the time is taking on the center and the guard. 90% of the time.
I mean. Yeah.
The fact that Javion Hargrove has had the numbers he's had over the first 3 games doesn't spell out, and Fletch doesn't spell it out to you. I don't know what else to tell you guys.
That's just like when you look at the best defensive backs, and the best defensive backs never have the highest interception numbers or things like that because teams, when you're that good of a defensive back, they avoid throwing the ball your way. They find ways to scheme things where they don't have to throw the ball at you. They can throw the ball at the other quarterback. So, you don't get as many opportunities as the other great defensive backs to, make as many plays on the ball, because they just aren't throwing the ball your way like that. So your numbers are. But when you watch a guy, you're like, watch this guy. He shuts down a team's receiver. Watch him follow this guy all around the field and shut him down. He's, the whole game. There's things that the stats never tell you, and people just play fantasy football and like, he had 5 tackles last week. I know. Great. When you're a linebacker, you're always going to be in the middle of everything, and you're going to be making a bunch of tackles. Doesn't mean our linebackers are any good just because they make tackles. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the best thing about Alex Singleton is his hair. Okay, no, people think he's a good football
I
player.
agree.
He's not.
No, not just his hair, man. He's a really good dude, and I am being hard on him. But listen, he's playing within his limitations. We knew who he was. He's an overachiever. He shouldn't be on the field like that. I don't see the love affair with him. I don't get it. He should be one of these guys, running the special teams and be out there for select packages. The fact that he he was exposed Monday night again.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and Aaron Donald definitely disappears for I don't think he's had the big numbers that he had a few years ago. Did I miss something? I mean, yeah, he still gets off, and Fletch has steadily declined, but if I remember correctly, he's been in this league quite a little bit longer.
I mean, and Aaron Donald's also going to go down as one of the greatest defensive linemen of all time, like Warren Sapp type level of like eliteness. Like you're over here being like, oh, well, like Aaron Donald could win. Yeah, so like what? So he has to be Aaron Donald, or else he's not any good. Like, are you like what type of fucking like standards are we holding players to? Like,
let's see. See, Bobby's in there, but I don't think his cam's on yet. Let me see what's
that's
going
like
on.
that's like saying, well, our linebackers aren't T.J. Watt. Well, if you need your linebackers to be T.J. Watt in order to like think they're any good, you're going to think all your linebackers.
We're gonna change. We're gonna switch gears from football to combat sports real quick, and we got our first guest of the night joining us. He is Mr. Bobby Poulter. How you doing this evening, my friend?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm great, man. We're just talking some Eagles. Beating down our team for being so terrible right now, doing the normal Philly thing, and our fans telling us we're being too hard on them as is per usual.
Oh God. Oh man, if only I knew anything about football.
You follow anything outside of combat sports? I got to ask you.
Honestly, man, when I was younger, I used to follow every sport: football, NBA, NFL, NLL, even lacrosse, hockey, everything. But man, when I got into combat sports, I just got fucking sucked right in.
It sucks. I feel you on that one. Like when I guess when I was younger, it was all I was big four sports. I always used to follow college sports. I was the general like most of the host here on ATD Radio. We just can never get enough sports. But Ultimate Fighter came along, combat sports came around. You figure out the other side of things. As much as it makes things twice as hard for me because I know what you mean. Like, dude, I like the fact that there's 2, 3, 4 different events. Just in the last 48 hours. Bellator went off. You have celebrity boxing going off tonight. You got the UFC going off tonight. I mean. And then let's not even talk about local MMA. you go to another level. Right here in our backyard, we have Cage Fury Fighting Championship right over there. Parks Casinos, I think, should be just about wrapping up in the next hour or so. Like, just on your side of things, you're up there in Canada. You know how it is in the local scene. It's nuts, man. So, but before I get into it, obviously. What I normally do when we have these interviews is kind of especially when we have new guests, is give you kind of the floor, kind of give the fans a little bit of a background, like who you are, how did you actually what brought you to that gym and got you making you take that first fight.
Yeah, man. So I actually started MMA pretty late. I didn't really have any experience going into that gym. Like, I was 18 years old when I first walked into a gym. I walked into Parabellum MMA, is now Aegis MMA. When I walked in there, man, like I've been a competitor my whole life. I've been competing in lacrosse. I've been competing in wrestling. I've been competing in at least like anything I can get my hands on. Like I've been trying. I've been at the highest level competition for as long as I can remember. I've been working out since I was 10 years old. Like this is the shit that I've known forever. So like when I walked in there, like I didn't have any prior experience, but I've always been a fighter. I've always exerted myself maximally as much as I can. So when I walked in there, man, like I just felt at home literally within a week, like that, snapping my fingers, and I was like, this is where I want to be.
So what was it? Was it the striking or was it the grappling that just kind of intrigued you and you wanted to kind of pick it apart?
So at first, like it was the striking. At first, I was really frustrated with the grappling. I especially coming from wrestling in high school, trying to transition that into jiu-jitsu and MMA. It was a little bit different, right? It's like so different. You're like, I'm a good wrestler. I'm gonna kill these MMA guys, and it's very, very different. But other than that, like I fell in love with that. But it was the whole sport in general. As MMA, I've always wanted to compete in MMA. Like in my first cage fight, I had never competed in a jiu-jitsu tournament. I had never competed in a kickboxing fight. I had never competed in a boxing fight. The first time I'd ever been in a fist fight in my life was in a cage against a guy who had like 30 plus kickboxing fights.
There you go.
Yeah, so like
that's how you get baptized, right?
But I baptized in blood, right? I walked in, and, I fought a tough dude, but I kicked the shit out of him. So that's kind of how it worked. Like I trained with killers up until that point. I didn't realize how good I was for like a few fights because, I was like, well, I'm just getting beat up every day in the gym. Like, what's going on? Like, how come I can't beat these guys in my gym? And I realized just, I walked in for my rounds of sparring. I do 3 to 5 rounds, and every single round I had a guy who was currently in the UFC or a UFC veteran, and I had 0 fights, and I was just getting thrown in there, right? Like I was baptized by fire, just like you said. So when I got thrown in there to fight,
that's why you do it sometimes. Like I remember, like when my kids first started training jiu-jitsu, and I was taking them to gyms, and I was lucky enough to have them down there at Daniel Gracie's down here in Philly, and you had Paul Felder, you had Jeremiah Wells, you had Sean Brady, and watching all these guys just before they were still like really young in their amateur careers before they blew up and went to Cage Fury, and then went to the UFC. So watching see how some of they were like, you have your moments where you're doing your thing and throwing people around, and then you get to some of these other guys who've been there for a while, and then next thing you know, you're like, all right, well, I guess there's another level to this, and let me pick this guy's brain a little bit. And that like, especially when you're in that training room, and you're in there with your brothers, your sisters, etc. It's definitely different than learning in the cage.
Oh man, it's so different, right? Like the stuff that you learn to survive. That's what translates over in the cage. Like that's what I learned in the first years was just surviving. I was never winning rounds against anybody until like maybe like a few years ago. I was getting my ass beat every single day. So I completely understand that, where it's like that higher level of competition. But that's what drives you to be successful, right? If you can learn to survive against those guys, you'll thrive against the guy who's at your level, or even maybe you're more skilled than.
Steel sharpens steel, man. You know how it goes.
100%, and that's how I would preach it to anybody else.
Now, obviously, you had a fight this week. Got the highlight there. You got something that add to the reel as you start to market yourself and promote yourself. How did that one feel? I think it was the 30th. What was
Yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah, it was the 30th, September 30th.
BFL 68 or whatever.
Yeah, BFL 68. Yeah,
so how did that one feel? Obviously you get the one punch KO, and I think you see Fight Pants up there throwing it out there all over social media. I think that was what your third pro fight now.
Yeah.
So. Like when you get one of these things, obviously, when you're a martial artist, like you have to keep that level head and not get too big. What's kind of like the next thing you want to look for in when you see step up in competition, you want to see possibly within the next year, looking to get into another promotion to kind of get some more eyes on you. obviously you have the proper gym. If you're already sitting there saying you have current UFC guys, UFC vets, working with you in your camp. What's kind of what you're looking forward to for your overall outlook moving forward?
So, man, obviously, you can't get too high after that win. I'm thankful that I walked in. I trained for a 3-round war, and I got out of there in just over a minute. Obviously, it doesn't always go like that, but the good thing is I'm healthy. My body's ready to go. So, like I said, I'm going to be ready to go ASAP. I'm going to be ready to rattle off those fights. It's been almost 2 years since I fought.
And yeah, dude, people underestimate the COVID thing. Like a lot of people, like you see, some international people are starting to get upset. You see Bellator putting fights over here in France and back over there in London, and you've been hearing some people who are having massive amounts of visa issues and things of that nature. It's been rough for everyone. Don't matter if you're here in the States, if you're in the other side of North America for you up there in Canada, or if you're over the other side of the pond. It's definitely multi-layered thing at this point in time. Like I just had Jessica Borgo, and she said luckily she didn't really have any issues. Obviously you got to follow all the rules and do X, Y, and Z to make things happen. But now, how did COVID affect you in the past year? Did you lose out on fights, etc.? Like how was it? How was it? Keeping you out for over a year?
Oh man, the problems were insurmountable for everybody, right? It made fighters' life harder than it already was, But specifically, I really struggled because two things happened. In my personal life, obviously, the facility that I was training at in Parabellum MMA, we were killing it. We had guys in and out from all over Canada, and they couldn't run anymore. They had to shut down their doors. So I lost the facility to train at. Although I still had my coaches, they were still ready to go. It's tough when you don't have a high-end facility anymore, or even anywhere. So actually, myself and my training partner, Scott Hudson, who actually fought Jeremiah Wells, we opened our own facility, our own little gym, just in the meantime, because Parabellum, is now Aegis MMA. They're just opening, next week. So we've had that facility in the meantime. But that was tough. We didn't, the same guys didn't come around. We have a very small group now, very intimate group, and it's still good. We still were able to get the training in. But hey, man, it was hard. We had to open our gym within 3 days notice. So we had a facility or something to train. So
yeah,
that was.
I know people lost gyms. Like Amanda Levy had a gym, right here in Northeast Philadelphia. She wound up losing it, closing down. Obviously she's had some fun with in the last month. Her short notice PFL win, then her big win over Gabby Garcia last weekend. So obviously she losing the business on one side, but your professional career is starting to take off on the other side is also a good thing too. So no
matter what happens, right? That's what being a.
And people also tend to forget,
we're
supposed to make her pro debut a year and a half ago, but had a medical scare too. So and then you have to deal with all kinds of things. People don't understand what a lot of fighters have to deal with. If one medical commission say, hey, we found this irregularity, we're not going to sanction you, then you have to start this whole process and figure out what you have to do to get back to being able to be medically cleared. It's a rough process, and it's different for every commission, for every state, country, etc.
Oh yeah, man. As much as I love fighting in my hometown of Toronto, getting the medical clearance is so hard. You got to get so much stuff done. It costs you more money than you're going to even make back in the fight. So that's why it's so nice to be able to go to, the different states or different commissions out west in Canada. It is tough. And, when you got to get all these things done, if there's any, like you said, small abnormality, your health's got to come first. You got to be healthy to be able to train and to be able to fight and to be able to win and be the best. So it's I couldn't imagine being in her situation, right? That's tough stuff.
Yeah. Definitely happy that she's got it cleared up, and hopefully we'll see her competing some more. and you got the UFC going on tonight. You got your eyes on anything tonight. I know. I'm already happy. Jared Gordon looked like he got his win tonight. Looking to see what Kyle Dawkins does shortly if he hasn't already fought already.
I know he just fought. Sorry, it was his brother that fought 2 weeks ago. Right?
Yeah, Chris just got fought, and he's already fighting again. He just got lined up with Eric Lewis for the end of December. So, man, that's gonna be fun. Oh, we're losing Bobby for a second. There, we got him back. There he is. No, we can't hear you. Let's try this again. You gotta love technology. No, still can't hear him. Where'd he go? I think he's on mute. It looks like your mic's on mute. That's what it says.
Why'd you mute him? Why did you mute him, Steven?
Oh, is that? What's going on?
Your microphone is muted.
I can't hear him. Can you hear us? That's weird. Can you hear him? I don't get this. Hold on. Let me just pull him out and then pull him back in. Let me see if that works. Nothing?
Yeah, still can't hear him.
No.
It's almost like we're trying to hear him, but like it won't go through or something.
Yeah.
He just put in the chat that the host had muted his mic.
No, I was, but that's what I'm trying. I was trying because it was on mute. That's why I was trying to see if that was on.
It's not on mute anymore on your end?
No, it's not. It's asking me to mute it. I'm like, no.
Steven, what is going on with your technology? Why are you fucking shit up over there? Learn how to fix this.
Not tonight.
Somebody call Thomas and get the boss man in here.
Yeah, right. Oh man, that sucks. But we'll see what happens here in a second. See if we can get him back on. But we don't even gotta wait because it looks like my main trap's on there too. Trap's already in here. It's his birthday, so I guess let's see if his is any good.
You muted his mic too.
No.
You're such a terrible host, Steven.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's like it's going in and out.
Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can get Bobby back in here too. See if his is
I
good.
know.
You can hear Bobby?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear Bobby now.
Got you.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, it said host muted my
All right,
mic.
Trev, give me a few minutes. Let me wrap up with Bobby before I throw you on here. That was weird, right?
Oh yeah.
You gotta love technology.
I know. Started screaming at me. I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm just gonna get out of here and come back."
Yeah. I was screaming at Steven. I was being funny.
I wasn't screaming at you. Now, who do you like tonight in this main one? You like Walker? Who do you like?
I got Walker, man. He's a freak athlete.
Yeah,
I
feel you on that.
I like Walker in this matchup. I think that it'll be interesting though, because like as much as Walker's an athlete, like I think he is coming into his skill set now, but you never know with him. You know, it's either hit or miss. It seemed like in the past.
Yeah, it is. You know, like I said, you know, skills make fights, styles make fights. Sometimes, you know, it's just it's sometimes it's your night. You got the right game plan with regardless if you're going against striker or your grappler or well-rounded guy. It's we'll see how this one plays out. That's why I'm really, like I said, I was interested to see what's going to happen with Kyle tonight, but. Chris Dawkins and Derek Lewis should be fun, middle of December.
Oh, that'll be crazy, man. That last fight, was it last weekend, I think, or 2 weekends ago? That was crazy, man. The way he knocked that dude out twice in one night. That was some of the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Chris has definitely got hands, and he's definitely a well-rounded. Hats off to him. Looking forward to seeing him get back in there. Best of luck to Kyle tonight too.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
UFC still delivering. I know. Fans that get spoiled sometimes, and they get playing because they don't get X, Y, and Z star. But yeah, listen, the undercards are where guys are built from.
Oh yeah, man, and like there's events every night on Fight Pass now. Like any MMA fan, like you don't even have to like any of the sports because there's fights on every night. Right? It's not like it used to be, one fight a month. There's killers on every card.
Now, what about you? You planning to stay your weight class? You see a lot of things that the thing is to do around now is to hop around weight classes and belt collector thing. That's become the kind of the thing to do. Is that something you're gonna do moving forward as you continue to kind of grow your star and kind of plant your name in the combat sports world, or you're just gonna plant yourself the one division and kind of grow with it?
I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. If the right fight came up at a different weight class, like I fought in my pro debut at 175. Back in amateur, I fought at 185. I fought at 155. Like I've competed in every division there is around my weight class. So, like I'm not afraid to hop back and forth. Obviously, I want to solidify myself in the welterweight division. But at the same time, I wish that there was more divisions. I'd love to see a 65 come up. I'd love to take fights at that because I'm not a huge welterweight. I don't cut a huge.
And that's kind of like the other thing is like we see like it's kind of one of the things we talk about a lot. You see what happened with Aspen Ladd. Her fight gets canceled.
Yep.
We've always talked about you needing to have more weight classes. In between 75 and 85. We feel the women should have a few more weight classes developed and stick with, so you don't have a lot of these cases. But it's kind of where we are. The sport's only less than 20 years old, really. If you really think about it.
Yep.
So
yeah. I think that they have to open up, man. Like, what's the worst that happens is they add more weight classes. They get more fights. They get guys fighting at a healthier weight class. They get more guys performing better instead of cutting, 20, 30, 40 pounds in a fight camp. They can fight at their natural weight because they're not fighting a dude who's got 25 pounds on them. Yeah. Like, I walked into a fight. That dude was 6'5", and he's big. And I'm like, whoa. Like,
that reminds me of the old UFC fighter Corey Hill. Remember when he was fighting at 70? He was probably the longest one we've ever seen.
Yeah, man. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you get some guys that are like, you should be up a weight class, or I have to go down. Like, I used to fight at 55, but then I kill myself making that weight, and then I didn't perform well. So it's like, I got to take the bullet. And obviously, as it sees, like my timing is on point. Like my power's there because I didn't kill myself, right? Like I was the best version I could be, and that's why I'm winning fights, in my opinion.
Now, before I get ready to wrap this one up, what I typically like to do is kind of throw the proverbial microphone over you, Bobby, and anyone you'd like to thank, training partners, teammates, shoot out your social media sites, any charities you're working with, sponsors, anything of that nature, my friend. The time is yours, my friend.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Give me a follow on Instagram. Bobby Poult, BobbyPoult. Follow my journey. It's gonna be a fun one. Be along for the ride. I have an amazing team around me. I got amazing friends, family. I got all the support to do all the things that I want to do.
Definitely looking forward to seeing your Rize, man. Get on Twitter there as well. We need to get you on there. Make sure you're following Bobby. Big win, this past month. Let's see what October brings. Hopefully, you get lined up with something real soon. Appreciate the time. Best of skill with your next upcoming bout, and we'll definitely looking forward to having you back on here and talking some more fight game, my friend.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, everyone. That was Bobby Poult. We're gonna be joined by
big wins, Steven.
What's up?
Speaking of big wins, Kentucky has just upset Florida.
Oh man.
And they're storming the field.
Jesus. All right. Well, next we got a good friend of mine, my main trap. He's been, definitely involved in combat sports, music industry, everything in between. His wife Ashley's been in fights. He's got a big fight coming up here, October 23rd for Rize FC, his second amateur fight, I believe. What's up, brother? How you feeling this afternoon?
Hey, man, how's it going? Let me adjust this camera a little bit for you.
Yeah,
I'm a perfectionist. How you doing, brother? I had to get a little bit of a connection, but I'm all right. I'm good.
Oh, you're clear now. You're crystal clear, brother.
Crystal clear? Good.
Yeah.
How you been, man?
I just love the whole image. This is awesome.
Listen, dude, if
like a professional wrestler from the 80s.
Google Trap, man. He's
yeah,
fun,
I wanted
man.
to get the strip in the background. It's like the perfect. It's the perfect time right now because the sun's setting over here in Las Vegas. So it's literally the perfect time.
It's like Riff Raff and Macho Man Randy Savage thrown together. Like that's what this look is.
That's hilarious.
I love it. So happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday. Happy 31st. How you feeling, man? Brother.
It's been so long since the last time we talked, man. So much has changed.
The fucking ages. I think it's almost 100 UFCs gone by since then.
Yeah, man. I think a couple stations ago.
A couple stations ago. Different platform now. Different vibe now. Went from
a few TV
went from
shows.
Audio to video now. So you can't be doing any nefarious things while you're talking to me anymore.
Definitely not this time. Yeah, I'm growing up too, man. 31.
Yeah, man. Like I said, listen, when we first connected, you was wild. You wild youngin', man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I'm like 41 now. You're 31. You know what I mean? You're like
Steven. You mean you're not a wild youngin' anymore, Steven? That's
Doesn't
not what I
heard. Say that.
Yeah, man. When we first started talking, I was like, we was punching each other in the face in the hallway with no mouthpieces and stuff, and that was back in Ohio where I was in a basement, and now I'm over here in Las Vegas training in these big gyms and shit, man. It's pretty surreal sometimes, to be honest.
Yeah, and for people who are unaware, like Trap started this journey for he's a 400+ pound guy. It was just and it wasn't even you at first. It was just you was trying to get ass work because y'all didn't really have a gym.
Yeah,
y'all didn't really have a home when it came to that. It was crazy.
I honestly feel like to a point I was living my dreams through her, and I know fighting is also her dream, but I was putting all my passion into her career instead of worrying about my own health and everything like that. I was just totally on her. But now that she's been there doing her thing, she's doing mommy now, she's relaxing, letting me out here shine, man. So when we first started talking, like I said, I was 465 pounds. And the last time I weighed myself, I was 336. So I'm hopefully trying to get down to at least 315, 300 for my next fight. I know that's a few pounds to go, but I'm working on it, man. I'm on the road, that's for sure.
I mean, you're in a good spot over there now, out there on the West Coast, out there in Vegas. Get that weight down, get that heat, making it easy. Get that sweat going.
Man, yeah, right. I know. As soon as you step outside here, it's like a sauna. Just without the humidity. That's why I like it out here. It's hot, but it doesn't have the humidity. So I'm digging that.
One of our listeners has said that you give off a Razor Ramon vibe. You just need the toothpick. Are you a fan of that?
That's funny. I hear that a lot. I hear that and fucking Jorge Masvidal a little bit, the super heavyweight Jorge.
Speaking of Jorge Masvidal, did you happen to catch Andy Wynn's knockout on Game Bread 2 last night?
Say that again.
I said, speaking of Jorge, did you happen to catch Andy Wynn's knockout on Game Bread 2 last night?
Was that the one that was bare knuckle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw that on IG. Yeah. I saw the highlight on IG. That was nasty.
Yeah,
that was nasty. I would love to do that, man, but I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. I got to get some experience with some gloves on first. I honestly thought I would go in and do some kickboxing or something first, but everybody's just throwing me into MMA, so fuck it. I guess I'm into MMA now.
I mean, just embrace it, man. I mean, it's not the thing about it is there's not a whole lot of good super heavyweights. It's one of the things where we're kind of just talking about.
That's one of the weaknesses I saw, man. I told these guys when I went in there, I said, man, Most of you guys just walk forward. They use your strength, like big superpower, and like I'm not afraid of that. And like I've been telling them that for the longest time, and I'm glad that I got in there and I got to show that. And
Yeah, man.
now it's
Like,
time to put a hurting on these guys, though. Now I showed them that I'm not afraid. I showed them that they can't hurt me. Now it's time to hurt these guys.
Listen, you've been putting the work in, brother. Obviously,
Yes,
you're loved by a lot. You're hated by a lot. People that like to bring that other side out on you. You've gotten through all the controversy. You're putting the work in. You're getting that get done in the gym, and now you're getting it done in the cage. This is now the second amateur fight, correct?
Yeah, this is my second amateur fight, and I've said this before. I don't know if I told you this, so I'll say this again. Like my first amateur fight, I was training all by myself. I went in there with no sponsorship, no team, basically no corner. My corner showed. I called them like just in the nick of time for them to show up and fly down to Florida. So I was totally unprepared, man, and I feel like if I can do what I did in there totally unprepared, then now this time I got real training behind me. I got a regimen. I'm strict. My diet is strict. I could come up with a lot of excuses of why I didn't get the W in my last fight. But fuck all that, man. I'm just ready to come back, and I'm ready to prove what I can really do. Like last time I just had so many questions for myself, man. It was so internal. It was such an internal thing. Like I feel like I was fighting.
We talked about
the
mental warfare of combat sports so many times, brother. Most of the time, the biggest hurdle to overcome is here than the person across from you.
100%, man. Like I was just fighting myself. The only thing I wasn't fighting was the guy in front of me until, I got in there. I was like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna fight. So, yeah, this time it's gonna be different. This time I'm actually preparing to hurt somebody instead of preparing to not get hurt.
You can't go in there thinking like that, brother. Like me and you talked about bad like different aspects of the game before and things of that nature, man. You do just have fun, man. Do your thing. Be who you are. Be trapped.
Yeah. You have no choice once that cage door closes, man. I told everybody, I was like, man, when I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna go in there. They're gonna shut the door. I'm gonna just walk forward. I'm gonna be angry. I'm gonna come straight face. None of that happened, man. I walked in, they shut the door. I was smiling. I was dancing around. I was having way too much fucking fun in there because you can't hide who you are when you're in the cage, man. As soon as that cage door closes, that's who you are, man. So this time I'm preparing to be a more prepared fighter in there and not somebody who's just dancing around, smiling around, thinking I'm, Mr. Cool Guy in there. So I'm looking to make a statement.
Oh, I know you, and I know you are, man. Like it's one of the things that you is one of the things you've been dying for, man. Like I know you're not happy with the first one. That's not how you wanted to do things. It's not how you wanted it to end, etc. Full camp this time. You actually got a little bit more into it than you were. Like you got that mental hurdle done and out the way. So sometimes it's just about getting the first one done, regardless if it's a win, a loss. However it goes, it's just getting that first one out, and then you're able to kind of figure out how you're going to go about it when you.
Yeah, I had so many internal questions because of the non-preparation. Like I literally didn't even hit the bag before that fight. I didn't spar at all before that fight, and I didn't know what would happen if I got punched in the face. So once that cage door closed, it was almost like, fuck it, let's find out what's gonna happen. Punch me in the fucking face. And we found out, So next time, next time I'm definitely gonna be more prepared. This is dope how the sun is setting literally as we're talking. You can see shit getting darker. That's crazy.
That's what where it normally is around here around 6 o'clock at time. We be going down the highways, be like, a freaking sun going down.
Yeah, this is dope, man. There's no.
But in your defense, yours probably looks better being the Vegas skyline.
Yeah, man. Like I don't know, man. I've been all over the country, not all over the world yet. I haven't left the country yet, but in my opinion, there's no place like Las Vegas, man. I love Las Vegas. The vibe here, the people here, the sunset, everything, man.
Well,
Spring
now
City.
it's becoming so much more of a sports town than it ever was. Obviously it was ruled by combat sports for literally since its inception. Now you got a hockey team out there.
Right.
The Raiders are doing good right now. How you feeling about your Raiders, brother? You gonna?
Man, so this is the crazy thing. When I was never ever a sports fan, but as soon as I got here, everybody's fucking Golden Knights crazy, and everybody started being Raider crazy just because they heard the Raiders were coming here before the Raiders even got here. This place is Raider nuts right now, and like it gets me into the vibe. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not really a sports guy, but I kind of want to go to the stadium and catch a game.
I'm telling you, the Oakland A's are going to be the next team. You're going to see the Oakland A's move to Vegas and join the Raiders. You're going to have 4 pro sports teams in Vegas here soon enough. That's going to happen.
Dope,
watch.
It's crazy. When I first got here, like the skyline was different. That was 4 years ago. Like it's crazy how like people don't understand how young this city really is and how much it's truly building every day. Like you wake up and the fucking skyline's different. Like they're working on the can I curse on here?
They listen.
You
You should hear the tirades we go off on, brother.
If we couldn't curse on here, I don't know if we'd be doing this.
Yeah. So they're working on the MG sphere or something like that, but it's like this giant interactive sphere that's gonna be in the middle of the fucking sky, and it's gonna be dope, man. Like you can literally watch concerts from your roof and stuff. And you guys should definitely Google that. It's going to be pretty cool. Well, this place is just changing every day, man.
Our fantasy draft party is going to be out in Vegas next year, so we might need to link up, brother.
Oh, we definitely got to, man. We definitely got to. Yeah. There's a couple UFC fighters that actually trust me to link them up with like hotels and shit when they come out here. And I'm not going to say any names, but I'm sure you can.
Oh, you don't got a name drop, man. Me and you keep that on the DL. We always have.
I'm sure you can just flip through my pictures and guess them. But yeah, man, we link up all the time out here. I know I've been broke out here. I've been balling out here. I'm broke again out here. So like I know where a little bit of everything is.
I don't know why.
I'm working on balling again. So
you give me this vibe that you be hanging out with like Dan Bilzerian and types of guys like that. Like,
yeah, he's not really my flavor, man. To be honest, it's a little too much cloudy for me.
You got to be like the life of the party at all times. You can't be like he steals your thunder or something, right? Like,
if I'm at a party like that, I'm usually like the guy that's like sitting in the corner, like smoking the dab pen, trying to like not be in front of everybody. I'm pretty humble.
This vibe that you're giving off does not match that. Like the look and the and in fact, like it's I get it now. That's the look that's why it's a look. You want to give off like the vibe, like you're that guy that's crazy at the party, but you're really just a chill dude in the corner.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm definitely an introvert. That's for sure. I'm an introvert, but I'm learning to be an extrovert, whatever the hell you call it.
Yeah, extrovert. There you go.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely learning. I guess I have to, man. At this point, I can't exactly get a job bagging groceries at like Gerstenslager's or something. You know, I guess that's a factory, so that doesn't make sense.
So
yeah, I couldn't get a normal job, man.
You could bounce it. You could be a bouncer at any of the nightclubs out there. Be honest.
Yeah, eventually somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, weren't you that guy on Dr. Phil?"
Oh man, I knew it was gonna come up. I
don't know if I want to go bragging about that one, Dr. Phil.
Yeah. Well, no, because trap exposed Dr. Phil a little bit.
Yeah.
Dr.
Phil's been exposed enough. But Dr. Phil is just an experience, man. You kind of got that was one of those things where you kind of got to eat shit to make it. You know what I mean? You know what you're getting yourself into if you sign up for a Dr. Phil TV show. If it's about you, you know what you're getting yourself into, but you also know that with that is going to come like a bunch of eyes on you and the chance to, like, if he says something bad about you, you can prove him wrong, which thankfully I did. So like, for example, since I was on Dr. Phil, I lost like 30, 40 pounds. I had an MMA fight. He said I would probably never be an MMA fighter. I'm a wannabe MMA fighter and all that stuff. So I proved him wrong by having an MMA fight, and having my next
You got to do it. You got to do it again. October 23rd.
Yeah,
you got to
definitely,
get
man.
that win, brother. You got to get that
for
win.
sure.
You got to put it all
I know,
together.
because I got that L on my record now, so I know he can easily come back and be like, yeah, but you didn't win.
I mean,
but
listen,
it's
Dr.
cool,
Phil,
man. At least I'm trying.
Dr. Phil doesn't even have like his PhD isn't even like he's not an acting doctor. They took his PhD
Right.
away and like told him he's
Yeah,
not allowed
when
to
you
be an
sign-
acting doctor anymore. The audacity of the
when
man
you
to
sign
call
the
himself
paperwork,
Dr. Phil.
when you sign the paperwork, they pretty much tell you like, look, man, this is a TV show. This isn't really like, you're not really signing for advice on anything like that. There's no script or anything like that. It's off scripted. It's not like Divorce Court. Divorce Court I did too. That was scripted. That was they hire actors for Divorce Court. So that was when I was like deep into acting. And you can look up
How
my
about Judge
IMDb. I
Judy?
even
Is
got
that real
on
or
my
they hire
IMDb.
actors for that too?
Say that again.
The Judge
How about
Judy.
Judge Judy? Is that real or do they hire actors for that too?
I have no idea. But I know that Divorce Court is 100% scripted. You can look that up on the website and all that. But my coach actually kept the script from Divorce Court. I was like, damn, he's stealing that shit from Hollywood. But
So when you go on Dr. Phil, they even like they don't even try to pretend. They're like, yeah, we know he's a fraud. He's a fraud. It's our TV show. Like
don't say
that's
he's a
awesome.
fraud.
They
Like,
think he's full of shit.
they definitely they hire producers that believe in him because they want to put him over as like the guy, you know what I mean? But honestly, he's really just an actor that's doing his job, and he's reading off a teleprompter the entire time. It's not scripted, but it's definitely, they have an agenda that they want to get for the show. Like, for example, like the first segment happened and we was getting along really well, and then they cut to like a break. And then they came in and they talked to him and they was like, look, man, like we need to hype this up a little bit. And then they cut off and they went straight to, you're delusional. And I was like, damn, okay. Like he like attacked me because we were having like too good of a time. It was weird. So it was like, they just
You weren't allowed to attack him back? I would have been like, and you're not a real doctor,
I
so
did, but
like,
they didn't
hey,
show
like,
it.
you know, what are we doing on here?
I didn't really attack him, but I defended myself, and they didn't show me defending myself, which kind of sucked.
Oh, they cut it off. See, now that's bullshit.
Yeah.
See, that's why I said we're exposed them.
There was one point where he was like, you're out in Vegas, and we see you in the pictures of like in the back of limos and shit like that, and wearing gold chains, and so you're basically pretending like you're rich and you're balling. And I was like, and he was like, you're telling people that you made it, right? And I was like, man, I'm not telling people I made it. Like I live in the middle of the hood, you know what I mean? And I told him, I was like, there's people that go from like living in a basement to go into a trailer, from a trailer to go into an apartment, and that's making it to them. And I went from small town Ohio to big time Las Vegas, and I brought my family with me. My family's healthy. I'm working on my dreams and I'm following my dreams. That's big time to me. And I pointed at the monitor to a picture of my family and I said, that's big time to me. They cut out everything I said about my family and they showed me pointing to a monitor. It says, that's big time to me. Then they cut to a monitor of a picture of me in the back of a limo with chains and girls and shit. And it was the craziest shit ever. Like they totally like manipulated the footage to do that. And I was like, wow, man. Because I like right there, I was talking about my family.
It's such bullshit.
Like I said.
No, I'm doing an interview.
Traffic exposed them. Now, speaking of exposing, what October 23rd? What are you going to expose on your opponent, man? Like, how do you feel about this one? Have you been working on the ground game? Or you want the knockout?
The knockout, man. Like I'm never going for takedowns. I train takedowns because I have to. I don't give a fuck like what's gonna happen. I don't give a fuck. My knee explodes. I'm gonna hit him with it. Like there's no excuses this time, man. I'm not taking an L. I'm going for his chin. I'm going for a knockout this fight, 100%.
Hey, man,
that's all I know, man. That's all I can do. I mean, I'll be honest. You're not gonna see me like barrel and bolo and pulling guard and fucking arm bars and all that shit. You're gonna see me take my fist and try to put somebody to sleep.
He's pulling out the old Chuck Liddell style. He's saying it's sprawl and brawl, baby. It's sprawl and brawl.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a weakness and a strength of mine. Like people know what I'm gonna do. but it's up to them to try to stop it. So my last opponent knew what I was gonna do, and he decided to stand up with me the entire time, and we saw how that went for him for the most part. So.
Hey man, you're trying to rewrite the script this time, so definitely
Yes,
looking forward to that one. You've overcome a lot to get to this point, like you said. From Ohio to Vegas, from the trailer to the freaking strip line. So, it still isn't a completed journey. Obviously, you're still in the midst of it. You still got a lot more to write.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, brother.
Ghetto birds flying by us right now. That's what I mean. Next interview, you're gonna have me like in the top of some fucking suite or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's what it is. That's what it is. Just make sure the sound's good because it's a lot of windy up there, brother.
Yeah, we're definitely in the middle of a fucking like real life story or real life book or movie right now, and I'm still writing it, man. So it's gonna be a crazy adventure.
Well, just make sure they cast some right people for me and Zach when they talk about this interview.
There's a couple TV shows that's going to be coming out real soon that I can't talk about, but they are reality series, and they're going to be coming out real soon on big networks. So I have a feeling as soon as that comes out, things are going to be even more crazy. So, and don't worry, it's not Dr. Phil or Divorce Court this time, or Judge Judy,
I'm
or
getting
Jerry
this idea
Springer, or anything like that.
If it's Vegas, it's got to be one of these like Hollywood, like Vegas, like wife type of shows, things or something.
Well,
Vegas husband life or something.
It's actually it's about me. It's about me and my life, but that's basically about as far as I can go. Damn, that strip looks dope as hell right now. Let me get closer for you guys. Check that out. That's dope.
That is cool.
Yeah, man. But the TV show is basically about me and my addictions, or what I get into and stuff like that. It's gonna be a fun one, man.
Anyone who knows Trap knows exactly where it's going with this. Oh, boy,
is there an In-N-Out burger behind you? Do I see an In-N-Out burger in the background?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Last time I was in Vegas, that was how about this? I want some In-N-Out burger, man. Last time I was in Vegas, the last time I had an In-N-Out burger,
I can't eat that, but I know they got vegan nuggets. I'm actually a vegan now, so I only eat vegan food. My homie was hitting me up because it's my birthday, and he was like, man, we got to get a cake for you. I was like, it's got to be vegan. So we're like calling around trying to find a vegan cake, and we can't find anything, man. So if anybody's watching knows where I can find a vegan cake in Vegas, let me know.
That's rough, brother. But before we get ready to wrap it up, Trap, what I typically like to do, man, is just kind of throw the proverbial microphone over to you, man. Anyone who'd like to thank training partners, teammates, shoot out those social media sites, any sponsors you have for this one, any other projects or things that you're working on outside of combat sports or anything like that you want to let the people know about, man. The time is yours, man.
Sure, man. I'll give a shout out to my sponsors, Fusion CBD. These guys sponsor so many fighters. I'm definitely not the only one. So you guys go check out Fusion CBD. These guys are one of the best. I've had so many CBD products. They've been helping me the most throughout all these competitions and fight camps. And Renegade Nation is another one of my sponsors. Trapstar Familia is another one of my sponsors. Shout out to all of them. I'll be rocking them on my fight shirt when I walk out, in my fight banner, fight shorts. Follow me at Trap Gambino X on Instagram. There's a lot of fake ones. Make sure you get the right one with the 16,000 followers. And yeah, man, I'm just a normal guy following my dreams. I'm hoping that I inspire you guys to do the same, because I felt like I was a loser. I was a loser. I still feel like I was a loser. I still kind of feel like I am a loser, and I'm trying to fucking do something about it. I'm trying to be a somebody, and if I can do it, you motherfuckers can too. So October 23rd, we're gonna see if I can do it again, man. Love you guys, and thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, brother. Do your thing. Keep in touch. Well, we always got love for you over here. I always got love for you over here. Keep doing your thing. Best of skill, man. Get that win. Keep shoving that shit down them haters' throats, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Anytime, my man. Have a good one.
All right, man.
All right, everyone. That was my man Trap. that, like I said, he's always fun. He's a colorful person in life. That definitely has unique outlook on life, and just he's a character. I love him. he's someone definitely with a different outlook. You know what I mean?
All the upsets in college football today. The 8th, the 9th, and the 10th ranked teams in football lost. Oregon lost to Stanford. You got 4 of the top 10 teams lost. Wow.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let Ralphie know to set up the giveaway for tonight.
Cincinnati beat Notre Dame. Cincinnati's got a legitimate chance to go to be in the college football playoffs, Steven.
All
Kentucky's
right, so
5-0.
I'm gonna real quick hop back to a few of these comments while we were talking to our guests. So Jay was still on the point while we were talking to Bobby that thinks that Cox was worth that contract. Maybe not worth the exact dollar amount, but I don't think it's not fair. It's
what were you
unfair.
going to do at the time? Like not pay him and let him walk and now have a giant gaping hole in your defensive line? Like,
all right.
I don't
so
know. Why are people bitching about Fletcher Cox? Of all the people on this team to bitch about, are you sad because you guys share a last name? Jay Koch and Fletcher Koch and like what? Is this
all
the
right? So
weird
Ralphie's gonna hop in here. We're gonna do the giveaway for the signed Jessica Borger photo I got. We're gonna see who our winner is. Let's see who.
Not Jay. Not Jay Koch.
Jay, would you stop? Oh man. And the winner will be James McCorson. So James, please make sure you reach out. Hit either the fan with the mailing shipping info, however you're gonna have it. I'll get that out to you. We got a few more things that I got lined up for this month. Like I said, got a actually dropped something off today for the fam. We're gonna have a replica Super Bowl jersey from one of our running backs that we'll be giving away at the end of the month. So make sure you guys are tuning in. Make sure you guys are subscribed for the HUD membership and getting all the perks, not just the giveaways, and enjoying everything that we're doing over here. Not just over here at the weekly roundup, but the guys in the Money Pot podcast. It looks like Nate tore it up today. I think I seen his post. He put a $75 bet on some props and popped out with I think it was like 420 today. Not bad. Not bad for the Money Pot guys today. Nate throwing it down there. So I mean, their picks, the stuff is all a part of the HD membership package. Make sure you guys are heading over there doing your thing. What?
How far did that ball go? Michael Conforto just hit a ball into like a restaurant window in Atlanta. Where the fuck is that ball so far to the upper deck? There was like an open window at like one of like the restaurant, like the suites that have their own personal restaurants, and it flew in through the window up there. Anytime something bad happens to Atlanta, you like it. So you're like, okay, like fuck the Braves. Good Lord. Hanging breaking ball, belt high. Oh,
so
my God.
Jay wanted to let us know he was just trying to put some football knowledge on us. It was nothing personal.
It did. It bounced off the window of the back building there. It was closed. The window was closed, but it bounced off the window.
Oh, my God. This is...
Somebody was probably taking a sip of their beer and a ball bounced off the window. They spilled it all over themselves.
Apparently, he's deep in some personal business.
Yeah, make her cheeks clap. That way she can go see somebody else to make those cheeks clap better, right? Yeah. Makes sense.
Why is that a question?
What?
Why?
I don't even understand the fucking question.
Trade offer in a 10-team standard.
Is this a fantasy football question?
Yes, I believe so.
No, nobody cares. Okay, I told you about fantasy football earlier. Fantasy football is like the fucking poison. I mean,
At this point in time,
it's just like a
Dallas,
poison to American football fans.
like we said a few weeks ago, if this is how this was going to play, Dallas would probably win by default, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Giants stink. We stink. Washington has a great defense, but they've got a kid named Heine playing quarterback. You can't be you can't. Your name can't be Heine, and then you be like no, like your name is Heine. Your butt. Your absolute ass. Like it's even in your name. So I think the Cowboys have to win by default.
Yeah, I think that's where it is. Again, with the guys.
Where should I start? Tyler the Sausage. What? We're not. This isn't a fantasy football show, guys. Like what?
All right, we always make it through the technical difficulties, regardless if it's with us or if it's with our guest or whatever. We find a way to make it work. Listen,
hold on. Go back to the fantasy football question because I'm gonna answer it.
Regardless of technical difficulties, you hear my dog barking on and off for about 2.5 hours. Him walking up the steps, down the steps over here. See. He has to make his appearance. He has to make it known. He's here. But as far as sending us links, Laura, man, you can find me on any platform. Just type in my name. I promise you can send me links wherever. We can have a discussion, brother. Off the air, it's all good. We continue the conversation going. Now, what else are you gonna let us know about that's happening live right now, my friend? Before we get off the air here in the last few minutes.
I wanted you to go back to the fantasy football question since he wanted me to answer it so bad. I'll answer it for you. I'll tell you who should start. Let me see. Who did you want me to play? Who should I play in flex?
Jacoby Myers, Chase Edmonds, or Cole Beasley?
Play Cole Beasley. He's not playing anymore, right? Because he didn't get the vaccination, so you should play him.
Oh man!
Who should I start as flex? People
also, by the way, our guest last week, Nick Gebhard won his fight this afternoon as well.
Oh, there you go.
Our former guests are still killing it. Love it.
Let's see. The Braves.
I got a fun one. Hopefully next week. I think we should have we should have a football guest and an MMA guest next week. And then later on in the month, obviously, again, with it, we're gonna have a little special with our show sponsor, and Alan Foy's gonna be hopping on here for 10, 15, 20 minutes. With some,
save your fantasy football questions for him. He loves fantasy football. He'll talk fantasy football with you.
Was it gonna be fantasy basketball questions then?
I mean, he'll talk basketball, fantasy football, regular football. He's a Vikings fan, so he understands our misery. You know what I'm saying? He's a Vikings fan. He understands Eagles fans' misery. Like he's a goddamn pain. I know what it feels like. Oh
yeah. Again, with that being said, this show is brought to you by eXp Realty LLC. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, looking to change your career brokerage, contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820 or visit him at Alan Foy at exprealty.com. But we're gonna have some fun this month. We got some more giveaways planned for the fam. I got a bunch of stuff lined up, man. Just you guys gotta keep it coming. You gotta get some more get some more of the subscribers going for the YouTube A2D memberships. Also, I'm doing some stuff with our gift codes. Anyone who is can post it up. Let me know that you purchased something, whether it be Manscaped or Body Check or whatever. let us know. I'm gonna hook our fans up. We're taking care of our sponsors who take care of us. We're gonna take care of you. What are you looking at there, dude? What's happening?
You asked me to find other live stuff. You were
Well,
doing such a good job killing
well, you were
the
talking about someone winning and running the field. I figured we're
Well,
the
yeah,
weekly
Kentucky-
roundup. You're giving us
Florida.
some live takes on some things.
Kentucky beat Florida, so that was big, right? I mean, that's
When does that happen?
that happened like an hour ago. Now I'm watching Mexican soccer. Maybe this is where we should end it and tell people to have a good night and be like, okay. Before Zach starts talking about Mexican soccer.
Oh man!
Oh look, they're even
You're already talking
translating.
about Heidi, so I mean,
nice
I
of them.
don't know where you're going with that. So
It's on NBC Sports, right? So for those of us that don't speak, for us, that don't speak Spanish, they translate it on the bottom of the screen because they're interviewing the one player. So he's speaking Spanish, and then down the bottom for us idiots, it's like it's spelling it. It's like literally, so he's like saying like mucho, and like we're so stupid we don't even know what like it's the simplest of Spanish words. Like he just literally counted the 10 in Spanish, and they're trying to like translate it on the screen as if I'm stupid and don't know what he was saying. I feel, what? I feel insulted, Steven. I feel insulted.
Lord,
Insulting my intelligence.
When you post contact or I'll post it in the link in a minute, Lord, where you can on YouTube. One of my personals, so you can connect with me, brother. But yeah, absolutely. Congrats to the photo winner giveaway. I'll get that once I get the address sent over to me. I'll get that sent out to you guys at ASAP. Like I said, we had some winners. I got some stuff for the end of the month. I got some other stuff over for when we get some things lined up. I got an Eagles package lined up for the fam. Just make sure you guys are again joining the A2D membership. Letting your friends, your fam know to head over here. Make sure you're using the discount codes. That's all you guys really need to do. Other than that, this was another episode of the Weekly Roundup. I'm Steve. He was Zach. Appreciate both.
Wait, what am I now? Who am I now?
He's going to be a different animal next week because I'm sure he's going to have more stuff to freaking get angry about in Philadelphia sports. We're gonna be looking to pay more attention to what's going on with the Flyers just so we can stay positive because apparently we like negativity here. No, we don't. You call us Negadelphians, we're just gonna find different ways to smile. But
if you want to hear about the Flyers, you can listen to the Hockey Happy Hour.
No, we'll talk Flyers here. Don't listen to him.
Oh, will we talk? Oh, we're gonna talk Flyers here. Okay.
I mean, we don't. It's not our specialty. Doesn't mean we're not going to talk it or cover it. Stop.
Go Lightning.
All right, go Lightning. Fuck you. The Fly Guys time, man. Fuck your Lightning. All right, that was another episode, guys. We'll catch you next week, same time. I'm Steve. He's Zach. Peace out, fam.